Hi, everybody. Welcome to Date Night Dialogues with Tag
and Paige.
So, love, where are we?
Tonight we came to Beaver Lake in Rogers, Arkansas, and it's the biggest lake in the area, and people do a lot of boating here.
And you can tell it was crowded today. There's a lot of people coming off the lake.
Tomorrow is Father's Day. What's the date?
June 15th, 2019. We're in Prairie Creek Marina.
Cool weather. Still, we've had a really nice spring this year.
Yeah, pretty mild. Piper just got back from girls' camp this week. Rained a little bit during the week, but it wasn't too hot. I don't think they got poured on, but...
Another interesting thing that happened is today Tag and Sarger went to Fort Smith to help with flood
disaster cleanup.
Yeah, flood cleanup.
So there were a bunch of houses that went underwater with a recent flood, and so it's kind of like what I did a couple of years ago in Houston after Hurricane Harvey, where I took a week of work off and went down there and did that. But this time it was just a few stakes in the area, and there were about 10 people from the Elm Tree Ward, and we went down there and just worked all day, worked our guts out, cleaning mud out of houses and moving their furniture, and then blasting out sheetrock. So Sarger was a really hard worker and never complained, even though it was muddy and stinky.
That's awesome.
So what's our topic today, love?
So today we're going to talk about our wedding day, our marriage.
And like leading up to it?
Yeah.
So last time we finished talking about when we got engaged. Getting engaged was August 6th, after we did that trip with your family. So then I moved back into Liberty Square at the end of August when the fall semester started. And so Paige and I are both living in the same apartment complex in the same ward at Liberty Square, just south of campus of BYU. And it was a really fun singles ward, but now we're kind of hitched. Like we're no longer in the dating around. We're just focused on each other. That was a fun time. We had a lot of fun dates.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. One thing I'm wondering is, so how did you know that I was the right one to marry?
Well, all right. So I had dated a lot of different girls in high school and after my mission. And, and every time I dated somebody, I mentally made a list of things I liked and didn't like. When I met you, it was like all the things that I liked times 10, like way more. And it was a time in my life where I was wondering if I was going to have to settle for someone who was just good enough. Since I've been back from my mission for a year and whatever. But when I met you, I was blown away about how awesome you were. And I found you really, really attractive. And but it wasn't just that. It was an awesome feeling. So I knew that you were the one. So that's why I was eager to get married to you. How did you know I was the one?
Well, what I would do is I dated quite a bit too, and so just through the years I'd had a lot of different boyfriends and gone on a lot of different dates and stuff, and I would always compare you to, or whoever I was dating, I would compare them to my dad. And it was kind of like, well, I want somebody at least as good as my dad, so I would compare them to my dad in my mind. And then almost all the time it was like, no, they are not close, they're not good enough, no. And so, but I did meet a few guys that I felt like were great. They were great, like my dad, but they just weren't the right one for some reason. But then when I met you, you were just amazing. And another thing is, I was always looking for, one of the most important things to me is who is going to be a really good dad to my kids. And I wanted somebody who was going to be the greatest dad.
Like playful and...
Yeah, just really fun, and someone that I knew would be kind, and somebody that I always felt like if I'm imperfect and if I'm not that great, I need someone I can count on that can be there for them, if you know what I mean. Like I just want somebody that I know the kids are going to like and they're going to trust and they're going to love. And so that was you for me. And cool. I knew that if all else fails, they're going to like
So then now we're into wedding planning mode. I'm in let's see, I think I'm in the junior core, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the junior core of the accounting program, which is like, you know, the refiner's fire, trying to really push us hard and weed out the people that aren't ready for this accounting program. And BYU has like one of the top three accounting programs in the country. And so I was really busy with school, but we're in wedding planning mode, and we set the date for November 26th, which is a Saturday after Thanksgiving in 1994.
Mm-hmm. Basically, my family was having a reunion. The Price side was having a reunion
Over
Thanksgiving in West Jordan, and yeah, that made sense.
I would just make it easy on everybody. Like, let's just plan the wedding in the same weekend in the same place where everyone's going to be anyways. I remember, so by now you obviously have your ring. We talked about that last time. You have my ring, but I haven't seen it yet. And then you start planning your wedding dress. I remember you designed your own wedding dress.
Yeah, I did. I designed my own wedding dress. I had it made with a seamstress, and I think it was $200.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, not too bad.
And it was awesome. It was hot.
So, that was fun.
Yeah. And we planned our wedding invitations. And we planned a wedding reception. And I'll talk about the wedding receptions in a minute after we get to the wedding part.
One thing interesting about my wedding dress is it had something that I'd never seen before, which the skirt portion of it was made out of white velvet. I've never seen a wedding dress with velvet before.
And, you know, it's Friday night, November 25th, 1994, and we're sleeping at our own places. You're up in West Jordan with your grandma?
Mm-hmm. At my grandma's house, probably.
Grandma Price, and I'm obviously at home in Bull River, Highland, Utah. And it totally snows that night, like a ton. And I remember getting up in the morning on Saturday and looking outside, and there's like at least a foot, maybe more, of snow, fresh snow in our driveway. Mm-hmm. And I'm out there like shoveling 2 tire tracks down the long driveway just so we can get our car out of the driveway onto the main road. And so I'm worried because we're starting to be late and I'm getting kind of sweaty, but that was kind of stressful for me. Did it stress you out with me being a little late?
Well, not that much. It didn't stress me out that much. The only thing that made it a little hard was, like, normally they take you in the temple and then you get to go into the celestial room and kind of have like a moment together before you go in. Mm-hmm. And they were like, okay, here we are in the celestial room. Do you have anything to say to each other? Okay, well then let's go. Like, it was just like, okay, I guess we're not having that.
Yeah.
So we went right into the sealing room, and
everybody was there. Yeah, and yeah, I remember that though. I remember being rushed through that. That was funny. But then we get into the sealing room. Everybody's there. We go in and kneel down. And did we have anyone special that was a sealer?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. So, anyway, it was just kind of a surreal moment. Once you get to that point, there's no turning back. I mean,
yeah.
And I never really had doubts or anything. I never felt the need to turn back. So
I felt so confident.
It was just a really kind of a spiritually powerful experience. Get married and get sealed. It's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. We went on a little weekend honeymoon to Salt Lake, and then we had our...
So let me talk about more about this, because this is one of my favorite parts about the wedding. Like, if our kids listen to this is how I recommend you do it. So we got married on a Saturday morning, and we did not do a reception that night. Mm-hmm. Because
we had a luncheon.
We had a little luncheon for family only. I was at my parents' house in Bull River. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so we came back from the temple. By now it's like 11:30. We go change our clothes, put on some nice clothes, but we're not like in our
wedding
suit,
dress.
Wedding dress. Come and do a luncheon. My family had like tables set up all around the house because it was cold outside, and we just did a luncheon. And by like 2 or 3 o'clock, we're done for the day. And so I remember we wanted to do something kind of special. So we said, let's have the reception on Monday night and let's get out of there and, get to our hotel by like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And I always feel bad when people get married and their first night, they're at their wedding reception until like 10 or 11 o'clock. It's really late, you know what I mean? And then they have to drive somewhere because they're starting their honeymoon the next day and they're, and the first day and the first night is just too much. It's hard to enjoy, it seems to me. But I just loved it. I remember when we went up there to check into the hotel, the person checking us in showed me a fax from my dad, and he had paid for it. And that was a surprise.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
Like he faxed in his credit card number or something, and anyway, so he paid for the hotel. And that was a really sweet, because we were planning on paying for it, but even though it was, like $200 a night or something like that, it was kind of expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the reception on Monday night, and we did it. Where did we do our reception?
The bungalow.
The bungalow down in Pleasant Grove, Utah. It's kind of a little like a house that's converted into like a wedding reception place.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun. It was a nice place. I think we way underestimated the number of people that were going to come, though. Like we estimated the number of people, and a lot more people came than we estimated. So they were kind of scrambling to do all the food and everything. But a month later,
right after Christmas, we left.
Yeah. So we took Monday off of school. We did the reception Monday night. That was fun. Everybody came. There's lots of pictures. Mm-hmm. You looked beautiful. And then by Tuesday, we were back in school, Tuesday through Friday. And we finished school up through the Christmas break. So let's just call it December 20th. Then the Christmas break starts.
We went to Arizona for the reception.
Oh, that's right. That was the next weekend, though, right?
Oh, okay.
So the reception in Arizona is 1 week later, so let's not skip that. Mm-hmm. So we did the reception on Monday night, and then we went to school Tuesday through Friday, and then Friday we drove down to Arizona, and we did the reception on Saturday night. Christmas break starts on December 20th. We celebrate Christmas. Where did we do Christmas? In Utah?
Yeah,
I think so.
Utah.
In Utah. And then the day after Christmas, we hop on a plane. And where do we go, love?
We went to Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. And we were there for we were there for like a week between Christmas and New Year's.
We were there for New Year's, I remember that.
Yeah, we got down there on December 26th, and we went through New Year's Eve.
We went parasailing, is that what it's called?
Yeah, parasailing.
That was fun.
We went to the beach a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We went on walks around Puerto Vallarta, got off the beaten path a little bit, did some shopping. Oh, remember we shopped for like some nativity sets and some glasses.
Yeah.
We still have them.
Yeah, we do.
So the nativity set, and we still have the glasses, those blue.
And that sun.
And that sun. Tell about the sun, love. Come on, you gotta tell about that story.
Oh my gosh. So we were in this marketplace, and we were told you're supposed to barter for this stuff. So I really wanted this kind of like a ceramic sun with orange clay. And so I started to kind of shop around, and because it reminded me of Arizona and stuff. So I found one that I liked, and I asked the price, and then I found another guy that hadn't one, and
they're the exact same thing.
I asked, well, what's the price? What is your price? Well, this guy says this price, and he's like, okay, well then I'll go lower than that. And then I went back to the first guy and was like, well, this guy says this price, and he's like, okay, well then I'll go lower than that. Well, pretty soon...
You're going back and forth.
I'm kind of going back and forth, and pretty soon the guy says, you know what? It's free. Yeah, I'm like, for $3? And he's like, no, for free.
Just despite the other guy.
It was so crazy.
So he just handed the sun to you, put it in a bag, and we walked away. We didn't even pay him.
Oh my gosh. That's so horrible. That was
We were so cheap back then when we were newly married.
That was so funny. Oh my gosh.
That was funny. So, anyway.
So yeah.
Good times.
That was it. It was really fun. I feel like our first, our wedding went great, and I felt like we adjusted to marriage really easily, and we had a lot of fun with each other. So
Yeah, it was a good wedding. It was
cool.
lots of fun pictures we can look back on, and it was a happy time. We never felt like, well, this is my wedding and I'm entitled to this fabulous, wonderland wedding. No, we just super basic, and it's just
we
helped
just
us
wanted it to
start
be
on the right
nice
foot.
and be able to afford it, and that's all we
It was
needed.
really basic.
So it was great.
All right, well, so that's it. That's our wedding story.
Well, thank you for listening, and we hope you have a wonderful night wherever you are. And all right, signing off.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.